post-war period brought post-war crime. There was a wave of murder and fraud. The papers carried the usual spate of prophecies. A newspaper epitaph for a newspaper man. By his striking methods, Lord Northcliffe had revolutionized the British popular press.
If dog bites man, that's not news. But if man bites dog, that's news.
In July 22, a society wedding. The bride, Miss Edwina Ashley, the bridegroom, Lord Louis Mountbatten. The best man was the Prince of Wales. In India, the leader of the non-cooperators, Mahatma Gandhi, aroused the ire of the British Raj. Sir James Barry made his last public appearance as rector of St Andrews. With him that day was the famous actress Ellen Terry. A memorial was unveiled to a popular comedian. Present at the ceremony was the comedian's son. A small paragraph of January the 3rd foretold a big story. In Dublin, a new flag took the place of the Union Jack. By a treaty with Britain, Southern Ireland had become the Irish Free State. In the streets of the capital, the relics of anti-British revolution were swept away, and British troops marched out for good.
chaperone can get our number. The world's in slumber, let's misbehave. There's something wild about you, child, that's so contagious. Let's be outrageous, let's misbehave. When Madam Juanita's hand, he wouldn't stand for teasing. He didn't care about those apples out of season. They say the spring means just one thing to little lovebirds. We're not above birds, let's misbehave.
Let's misbehave. Let's misbehave.
If you would be just sweet and only meet your fate, dear, would be the great event of 1928, dear.
Let's misbehave.
On the throne were King George V and Queen Mary, now in their 13th year of reign. That year saw them opening London's new County Hall. A popular figure was the Queen Mother, the widow of Edward VII, Queen Alexandra. In 1922, the King's only daughter, Princess Mary, was married. The bridegroom was Viscount Lascelles. The wedding was held at Westminster Abbey. That day, London's buses and trains carried the record number of 2 million passengers. Of this glittering show, Lord Riddle wrote,
"The men's uniforms displayed enough gold braid to pay off the national debt."
Wonder of the world! weird, wonderful, the stuff for which movies were made. Adventure, to make you wonder if it's true, while your eyes convince you that it is. Truly, the thrill of thrills. Don't miss it this time.
The escapist mood of 22 was reflected in the shows of 22. Gay, frivolous, dancing trifles like Snap, Fifi, and Whirled into Happiness. Audiences delighted in the antics of Stanley Lupino. Gertrude Lawrence and Herbert Mundin, later a popular Hollywood star. Alfred Lester, in a sketch portraying the railways of the future of 1940. A.W. Bascom in one of his female impersonations. Billy Merson shaving Tom Walls in Whirled into Happiness. Jack Buchanan sparring as battling butler. Nelson Keys showing off the latest dance steps. Mayfair and Montmartre with Lady Tree, and in the Dance of the Incas, the exotic Alice Delicia.
after the shows, the cabarets. In the post-war years, London's nightlife boomed, dining and wining to the early hours, watching the dancing of Cicely Courtnidge, the fooling of Jack Hogan, enjoying the company of such stars as Leslie Henson.
But for some, theatres and cabarets were not enough. Their craving for escape could never be satisfied. And so came the nightclubs and the cocktail parties, saxophones and jazz. With cynicism and syncopation, they danced their way from one year into the next.
It rains, pennies from heaven. Don't you know each cloud contains pennies from heaven? You'll find your fortune falling all over town. Be sure that your umbrella upside down. Speedy, trade them for a package of sunshine and flowers. If you want the things you love, so when it starts to thunder, don't run under a tree. There'll be pennies from heaven, you and me. And they, so when it starts to thunder, time it rains and rains, pennies from heaven. Don't you know each cloud contains pennies from heaven? Find your fortune falling all over town. Be sure that your umbrella train for a package of sunshine flowers. If you want the things you love, must have showers. So when it starts to thunder, don't run under a tree. There'll be pennies from heaven. You and me, you and me, you and me, you and me, you and me. Pennies from heaven from you and me.
I am Dracula.
Dracula. The very mention of the name brings to mind things so evil, so fantastic, so degrading. You wonder if it isn't all a dream, a nightmare.
Rats. Rats. Thousands. Millions of them.
But no, this is no dream. This is Dracula, the original terrifying story of a maniac and a man who lived after death, lived on human blood, took the form of a vampire bat, and lured innocent girls to a fate truly worse than death.
Dracula? Oh, what's he done to you, dearie? Tell me.
He came to me. He opened a vein in his arm, and he made me drink.
sleeping in the sun. How you expect to get your day's work done? Never get your day's work done. Sleeping in the noonday sun. Lazy bones, sleeping in the shade. How you expect to get your cornmeal made? Never get your cornmeal made, no son. Sleeping in the evening shade. When taters need spraying, I bet you keep praying the slugs fall off of the vine. And when you go fishing, I bet you keep wishing the fish will grab at your line. Lazy bones, loafing through the day. How you expect to make a dime that way? Never make a dime that way. Now looky here, you'd better mind the words I say.
Novel water suits suit those who want to be in the swim. The feature of these models is the built-in brassiere, with an upward and lateral stretch for figure control, both in and out of the water. Of these two backless models, that on the left has a tie-over adjustable top, while the one on the right is a semi-two-piece wool set in two colors. In a moment, you'll notice in these examples of the built-in brassiere the figure controlling action of the straps. The high spot of the parade is the sarong, with the tie-over brassiere and detachable cape and skirt. It's really a swim and tan suit, the skirt cape being particularly useful for sunbathing. This is the new wrap, with cowl effect and strings, to give that Red Riding Hood appearance that goes so well with a nice drink and a boyfriend. And is the water suit business good? Well, there are the latest figures.
Hello, people, and thanks, Don, for that very, very lovely introduction you gave us. All I can say is thanks a million, and I won't settle for a cent less. Now, on our modest act tonight, we'll be ably assisted by Professor Pelota and his talented little team. Give them a hand, folks. Okie dokie, Professor, take it away.
These will be amusing, Gertrude.
Oh, I hope so.
If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where Harlem sits? Putting on the Ritz. Tangos dance upon the bevy of high browns around the levee, all misfits. Putting on the Ritz.
If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits? Putting on the Ritz. Different types of everyday coat, pants with stripes and cutaway coat, perfect fits. Putting on the Ritz. Dress up like $1 million trooper, trying hard to look like Gary Cooper. Come, let's mix where Rockefellers walk with sticks or umbrellas in their midst. Putting on the Ritz. Have you seen the well-to-do up and down Park Avenue on that famous thoroughfare with their noses in the air? High hats and arrow collars, white sacks and lots of dollars, spending every dime for a wonderful time. If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits? Putting on the Ritz. Different types of everyday coat, pants with stripes and cutaway coat, perfect fits. Putting putting on the Ritz. Dress up like $1 million trooper, trying hard to look like Gary Cooper. Come, let's mix where Rockefellers walk with sticks or umbrellas in their midst, putting on the Ritz. Dress up like $1 million trooper, trying hard to look like Gary Cooper. If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits? Putting on the Ritz, putting on the Ritz, putting on the Ritz, putting on the Ritz. But not till now, the time is right for us to now. We can move to the rhythm we can. Move, dance to the rhythm, nice and easy. I want you to move. Putting it on, putting it on, putting it on. The R-I-T-Z. How about you win?
There was a lot of cornmeal not made that summer. We built a tower up to the sun with gold, other people's gold. The world was settling with Uncle Sam. It was coming to us, I guess. We didn't know what to do with it. Anyway, it never got as far as me. I left things like that to guys like Henry Ford and old John D. Rockefeller. Guys that said they understood it. I was in business on my own. You know what a depression is? It's when prosperity's just around the corner. Yeah, the next one. Well, we had a depression. Worse than that, we had prohibition. Things seemed to be breaking up all around us, and a lot of hopes went down the drain. You've heard them talk about those hungry millions? Well, we was thirsty, too. We were the richest country in the world, so I guess we had to be the sickest. And when a country the size of America gets sick, it's apt to be a little catching, you know. In spite of the sun, it wasn't so hot in Europe either.
How expect to make a dime that way? Never make a dime that way.
In that brilliant summer, prodigal sunshine encouraged the pursuit of the open-air pleasures. Walking became a communal activity graced with a new name, hiking. Motoring was cheap, the roads of Britain showed it. Cycling clubs flourished, and thousands streamed from their crowded cities to pass the leisure hours in the green hills and lanes of the countryside. That summer, Britain became the great outdoors. Its people were discovering their land and each other.
Oh, it's alive! It's alive! It's alive! It's alive!
When this dead hand moves, the monster created by a man they called mad is turned loose to strike terror into the hearts of men. To shock women into uncontrolled hysteria.
Elizabeth!
To prey upon the innocence of children. This is the story you've heard about, talked about. The spine-tingling, blood-chilling story that stuns your emotions. Frankenstein.
Don't touch that!
Good tennis that year. That's Ellen Jacobs. Dorothy Rand. Remember this one? Yes, it's Betty Nuttall. Vines, playing Crawford. Of course, the real star turn was Fred Perry. That year we won the Davis Cup. First time in 21 years. Lovelock's the name. J.E. Lovelock of New Zealand. That year he broke the world record for the mile. 4 minutes, 7 3/5. Another record breaker. Yes, it's Wally Hammond. Knocked up 336 against New Zealand. Now I am on my home ground. League champions, the Arsenal. Crack team that season, but they didn't get the cup. That went to Everton. Yes, Everton beat Manchester City 3-0. The most decisive victory for 20 years. I suppose it's hardly necessary for me to add that I put my shirt on Manchester City. Well, no man's infallible. And Manchester City didn't have a Dixie Dean. No. That year, Scott Payne took a crack at the water speed record in Miss Britain III. Then he burst into flames. Well, the boat did anyway. Bit of bad luck there. But Malcolm Campbell did the trick. Malcolm Campbell's Bluebird. I knew a fellow who had 5 bob on that. Thought it was a horse. Yes, he went down Daytona Beach in Florida at 272 miles an hour. You couldn't see him for dust.
Well, that was nice. Where do we go now? Look, dear, we're only here for one night. We can't see everything. Let's have a look what's on. Dirt track racing. Well, you don't have to come to London to see that. Here, there's boxing. You wouldn't like boxing, would you? No. Circus, then? Ah, we saw that at Blackpool. Dancing at Palais? All right, I know you've been walking all day. So have I. Well, what about going to the pictures again? There's plenty to choose from. You always liked him. Oh, what about this one? Well, you can rest your feet and watch the organ change colour.
It must be love that has made Marcus so lenient of Christian.
Yes. I do love her. This one Christian life will make our Marcus happy.
Is Nero justice in the Roman world, or merely a puppet emperor?
Thea is right, Marcus. I'm afraid it's impossible.
I have obeyed and honored you. I have risked my life in your service. And all that I shall ever ask for it, a small thing to you, is that you give me the life of this one girl whom I love, Caesar, with my whole heart. I plead with you to spare her.
No, Marcus. We do not want barbarians laughing at Roman justice.
Come and meet those dancing feet. On the avenue, I'm taking you to 42nd Street. Hear the beat of dancing feet. It's the song I love, the melody of 42nd Street.
That's your light change.
All right, girls, come on, snap into it. Hurry up, come on, kids. Get going. All right, take it away.
I'll go home and pack my panties, you go home and get your scanties, and away we'll go. Off we're gonna shuffle, shuffle off to Buffalo.
To Niagara in a sleeper, there's no honeymoon that's cheaper, and the train goes slow.
Ooh.
Off we're gonna shuffle, shuffle off to Buffalo.
There's no delicacy nowadays. No consideration for others. Refinement's a thing of the past. Manners are dead.
Look, I wish you'd make up your mind. Okay, let's have a theatre then. Anything, as long as it's lively. Now look at that. That's the trouble with London. By the time you've made up your mind, they've all started.
Women! Women! I wish there weren't any women.
If there weren't any women, who'd mend your clothes?
If there weren't any women, I wouldn't wear any clothes.
My caveman!
Oh, please, please, now don't do that.
Not tonight, Josephine.
It is 14 years since we were wed. I remember the day
You are not listening, Napoleon.
Hello? Yes? Yes, this is Tommy Henry speaking. Well, have you got a piece of paper and a pencil? I mean, a piece of paper and have you got a pen? Good, all right. Well, let's go then.
The man you get alone with, and you hope there'll be some rockets. You vamp him till his eyes are simply leaping from their sockets. And still the silly blighter keeps his hands inside his pockets. Who wants a man like that?
So what should we play for? I'll play you for £1. Pound? That's no good to me, £1. That's only a tip for the marker. I'll play you for £10. Your shot, is it?
12, 14, 16, 18, 20.
Look out!
A year is like a day. It has its morning, noon, and night. As 1933 approached its close, the sun had passed its zenith. The shadows grew and lengthened into evening.
Death, eternal punishment for anyone who opens this casket.
The mummy. Is it dead or alive? Human or inhuman? You'll know. You'll see. You'll feel the awful, creeping, crawling terror that stands your hair on end and brings a scream to your lips. There's nothing on earth like the mummy.
You will not remember what I show you now, and yet I shall awaken memories of love and crime and death.
Now I know his horrible plan. He is going to kill her and make her a living mummy like himself.
Just got an invitation through the mail. Your presence requested this evening. It's formal, top hat, white tie and tails. Nothing now could take the wind out of my sails. Cause I'm invited to step out this evening in top hat, white tie and tails. Oh, I'm putting on my top hat, tying up my white tie, brushing off my tails. I'm duding up my shirt front, putting in the shirt studs, polishing my nails. I'm stepping out, my dear, to breathe an atmosphere that simply reeks with class. And I trust that you'll excuse my dust when I step on the gas, or I'll be there, putting down my top hat, mussing up my white tie, dancing in the tail.